Welcome to the Masterful Coach Podcast with Molly Claire. If you're a coach who's ready to impact more lives, make more money, and create a life you love, you're in exactly the right place. Get the support you deserve as a female entrepreneur. Master your coaching skills, grow your ideal business, and honor your priorities in your personal life. Are you in? Let's get started with your host, best-selling author and master life and business coach, Molly Claire.
Hello, coaches. Today, we're talking about some big coaching myths that are keeping you from being highly effective as a coach. Now, of course, I've been talking a lot lately about safety as a coach, right? And ethics, and it matters first and foremost. And I'm going to continue to speak to that today. And I'm also speaking to the importance of simply being effective as a coach, which of course relates to integrity. And I will say, while it goes without saying that we want to help our clients and being effective as a coach is how we do that, it's also important to know and understand that being effective as a coach also affects the bottom line in your business. And I'm going to tell you exactly why that is. So I always say results get referrals, right? I tell you, you can have a simple and profitable business when you're a phenomenal coach, such a great coach that people cannot help but refer to you, then you have a profitable business. But I'm going to bring a little bit of proof to the pudding here. According to a Nielsen Trust in Advertising report, 92% of consumers trust recommendations from friends or family over any other form of advertising. And I don't know about you, but when I saw 92%, I thought, oh my gosh, that's so high. But then in just the next moment, I thought, of course, it's 92% of consumers trusting recommendations from family and friends. Where do I go every time I want to find a service? I go to look for recommendations, right? I ask for referrals. And so this is exactly why I teach you that you don't have to be a master of marketing to have this simple, profitable business. Yes, you need enough marketing, and that's something you can continue to work on. And you will over time as you build your business. But as you're going to hear in this podcast, investing heavily in marketing in the beginning of your business is actually a huge mistake and one that sinks a lot of businesses. And so along these same lines, when you lead your business with phenomenal skills as a highly skilled coach, your work will speak for itself and you can increase those profit margins. Now, today, before I get into these myths, I want to add to this idea of results getting referrals by telling you that results also get renewals. And I'm going to prove this with some statistics too. PricewaterhouseCoopers, one of the largest professional services networks in the world, conducted a global study that found that 96% of clients are likely to repeat a coaching experience if they achieved positive results. 96%. This is a really high number. And think about this. If every time you acquired a client and you were able to deliver phenomenal results and growth to them, there is a 96% renewal rate with those clients. That is a pretty big deal. Renewals were always the largest source of my income when I had a one-to-one practice. And even now still, as I'm able to work with my clients and offer them continued support, it's a hugely important part of my business. And the best part about this is that I have the privilege of watching my coaches develop over a period of time. And it is just such a gift to witness that kind of growth that can occur. And I also want to mention what a service it is to not only provide that service initially, but to offer your clients those renewal opportunities, because truly they will get the most out of it as they continue to implement over time the things you are helping them with. And I have certainly seen that to be true with all of my clients as well. So let's talk about effectiveness and some of these myths that you may be believing or hearing that are preventing you from being more highly skilled as a coach. And of course, that's getting in the way of those results and referrals too. Myth number one, you can't control your clients' results. How many times do we hear this, right? Well, we can't really control, we can't make our clients do the thing or lose the weight. While this is true, it's also true that you have more of an ability to influence your client's growth than you realize. You're going to notice I'm going to give you quite a few statistics here. One of my really amazing coaches and mentors that I'm working with, she told me something and it really stood out to me. And that is, she said, when you look at ethical marketing that is high quality, I'm getting off on a little bit of a tangent here, I do realize, but when you look at high quality marketing that is ethical and you compare that to the difference between bro marketing out there that is sleazy, that just doesn't feel good to you. We all know it, right? It's like I can feel in my bones what it's like when you see that like sleazy, slimy marketing. She said the difference is that when you are offering quality marketing, you actually have proof to back up what you are saying. And it just should seem obvious, right? But I certainly haven't brought enough of this into my marketing. So you're going to hear a lot more of it, a lot more statistics, a lot more of my testimonials that I'll be bringing in as well, and all of those good things. So getting back on track here, as I was saying, the truth is you have more of an ability to influence your client's growth than you realize. A Gallup study on workplace performance shows that 70% of the variance in team engagement is directly related to the quality of the manager or coach. 70%. That is a huge amount. And this is really exactly why the more skilled you are as a coach, the more progress your clients will make, and the more referrals and renewals you will be able to get. So please take that into account. It is true that we cannot make our clients do anything, right? And we have more influence than we realize. And one of the things that I recommend for you as a coach is really, really mapping out, and this really can be as easy as having a list of these are the things that I can control with regard to how I'm engaging with my client. And these are the things that I can't control. And in the category of things that we can control as coaches, we can control or influence, right? We have the ability to make sure that we have the skills that we need, that we are always developing, that we are always learning, that we are understanding the most effective and safest practices with our clients. So these are a few of the things. And one of the things even is listening to this podcast, listening to the last couple of episodes and the ones that are coming up where I'm really giving you some good content on how to be effective. Take the time to think about what is actually within your control and what is your sphere of influence and your ability to truly support the growth in your clients. Take a look at that list and focus on that. And I promise you will increase your own effectiveness. Okay, myth number 2. Every problem is a thought problem. Coaches, there was a time that I thought this, I bought into this, I believed this. I thought we can solve anything if we just understand what we're thinking about it. And in truth, thought work, mindset work, belief work used in isolation can be detrimental. And I did an episode on this a couple of weeks ago. If you haven't listened to it, absolutely go back and listen to it. It's episode 156. And what I will tell you is that if you are working with a client to change their thoughts and beliefs without a full picture of the whole person in front of you, then you are missing out. You're missing out on science that will help you to coach effectively and safely. Being safe and skilled as a coach requires the full picture of how thoughts and emotions and the nervous system and behavior patterns intersect. While it is true that mindset work is incredibly powerful, and it is true that thoughts do create feelings, not all feelings are created from thoughts that we can access as thought work coaches. So keep that in mind and definitely go back and listen to podcast episode 156 if you haven't yet, because I go much more in depth on this topic there. All right, coaches, myth number 3, you don't need endless training to be a good coach. This is false. In truth, your income, effectiveness, and integrity as a coach require you to have continued education. Forbes reported that 87% of high-performing employees and leaders attribute their success to ongoing learning and training. I have seen this with my own clients. I've seen this in the leaders that I've been working with in my level 1 certification, that when they are invested in that ongoing learning and training, and as I'm meeting with them every single week, they are so much more mindful of incorporating what they are learning on an ongoing basis. Let's add to this. According to ATD, companies that offer comprehensive training programs have 218% higher income per employee and 24% higher profit margins. So right there, we can see that this continued education and higher training actually impacts the bottom line in your business. And when it comes to integrity, remember that coaching is an unregulated field. And as such, we have the responsibility as coaches to ensure that we are learning the latest developments in the field and ensuring safety with our clients, that we continue to develop our abilities so we truly can stand tall as someone who is raising the bar for integrity and ethics in the field. All right, coaches, myth number 4, all you need to succeed as a coach is confidence and belief in yourself. Okay, this is one that is probably the most cringeworthy for me, because in truth, confidence without competence is an empty facade of a business. And when I hear this idea, this is probably the one more than any other that just makes me realize the vast difference between skilled, competent, ethical coaches and people who have no business calling themselves a coach at all. I really, truly believe that this idea that confidence is all you need to succeed as a coach is driving the lack of integrity and professionalism in our industry. I always say the coaching industry has a very low bar for entry, but it has a high bar for success. Yes, the field is unregulated, so anyone can coach, but it doesn't mean everyone should coach, or certainly not until they have developed adequate skills. You don't need to know everything or have every skill, but you do need to continue your education and learn about the whole person when it comes to supporting change. You need to understand many modalities, including cognitive approaches, emotion-focused modalities, and the type of action-focused strategies that actually support your client in creating change in a safe way. Okay, coaches, last myth, myth number 5, don't invest in more training until your marketing is working. Here's the truth, coach. You will waste money spent on marketing if your coaching isn't working. You can ask any honest and successful marketing professional for help, and they will tell you that you need proof of concept before you want to invest money on paid advertising. In fact, I remember hearing this a couple of times when I reached out to get help with moving my marketing forward and paying for some advertising. And a couple of the people that I admired most, this is what they said to me. We want to make sure you have proof of concept. It's not a good idea to hire me and to spend your money to pay me and pay money for ads unless you actually have a product that's working. So we can think about it like this. If you're building a house without a foundation, that's not going to go very well, right? Imagine spending money on decorating a house without first ensuring that the foundation of the house is strong. No matter how beautiful the decorations or the marketing is, if the foundation, which is your product or your coaching method, is flawed, the house will eventually collapse. Marketing can bring people in, but if your coaching program doesn't work or you're lacking skills and knowledge as a coach, clients won't stay and they won't refer others, and the effort will crumble. According to Harvard Business Review, acquiring a new customer is 5 to 25 times more expensive than retaining an existing client. So think about this. If as a coach, you're spending money on marketing without ensuring that your product or your coaching program or services provide real value, you're going to struggle with retention and with referrals too. which drastically increases the cost of client acquisition. And this, of course, leads to wasted money in your business. It can be really easy for us to glorify the value of the right marketing plan, the right business plan, especially when marketing can seem so new and overwhelming as a coach. We can believe that it's the secret to success and we don't know where to begin. So we end up focusing more time and energy on marketing and buying business programs before the foundation of your skills and effectiveness as a coach has actually been established. I have seen firsthand that coaches who have come to me right away as they start their business, right as they've gotten that initial certification, and they come to me and they hone their skills and they advance their skills right away. These are the coaches that are more grounded in their approach. These are the coaches that are more likely to have that simple, profitable coaching business model because they know the value of giving stellar service, which means referrals, and which also means those renewals. And the best part about this is that you are leading your business with a focus on your clients, service to your clients, giving them the help they need. And that, in my opinion, is always the best foundation. All right, coach, that's what I've got for you. I am so excited about next week's episode. Keep tuning in. Share the podcast with every coach you know. Let's continue to raise the standard in the coaching industry. What we do as coaches, what you do as a coach matters. I'll talk with you next week.
Thanks for listening to the Masterful Coach podcast. Are you ready to build your amazing business with Molly as your coach? Check out www.mollyclaire.com to find out about Masterful Coach Foundations and the 10K Accelerator Method. It's the ultimate support for you as a coach building your ideal life and business.